What's up, guys? Welcome to the line change. In this particular video, we are going to continue our series of potential 15th overall draft options for the Vancouver Canucks. We've already talked about, I forget his name. But we've already talked about one, that of course being, let me quickly look, Carter Bear. We talked about Carter Bear the other day. Today, we're going to be talking about Braeden Cootes. So we're going to talk about him being a potential option for the Canucks to draft at 15th overall, of course, if they decide to keep their first-round pick. Obviously, we're all aware that there is a very high chance that the Vancouver Canucks do end up trading that pick, but it doesn't hurt to look at the potential options if they decide to keep it. So we're going to be going over an article from our friends at Canucks Army, once again written by Dave Hall, who wrote the previous article on Carter Bear. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Now this is actually never mind. So Braeden Cootes, currently playing for the Seattle Thunderbirds of the WHL, 18 years old. He's a center, 6 feet tall, weighs 183 pounds, shoots right, and he's from Sherwood Park, Alberta, Canada. Depending on who you ask, selecting Braeden Cootes with the 15th overall pick could be considered a slight reach. However, if that's the case, it isn't by much. Today, consensus has him projected somewhere within 13 to 25 range, and with the stellar U18 World Championships, 6 goals and 6 assists on his resume, Cootes has all the makings of a player who could outperform expectations on draft day and for years to come. Early or not, the Alberta native checks all the right boxes, and the Canucks hope for in a prospect. Known for his relentless work ethic, he's the kind of player who leaves it all on the ice, earning a reputation as a heart and soul type with leadership potential written all over him. This past season, he wore the captaincy for both Team Canada and the Seattle Thunderbirds, where he skated as the youngest captain in the WHL at 17 and 18 years old. He's a tireless competitor on the ice, providing a real Energizer Bunny brand with his nonstop motor. He's a responsible all situations right shot pivot who thrives in all 3 zones, bringing a pest-like forecheck that wears down opponents. While he may not deliver bone-crushing hits, his constant pressure and volume of engagement make him a nightmare to play against. He forces defenders to constantly swivel, overthinking each time they skate toward the corners. Cootes does well at maintaining body position, frequently rubbing defenders off the puck to gain possession, and once the puck is on the stick, he can make magic happen. He has a knack for making plays in tight spaces and off the rush, often reminding us of Abbotsford Canucks' Max Sasson. When he gets going up the ice with his head always up, scanning the ice, Cootes becomes a one-man zone entry machine, weaving through defense like pylons on both on the rush and inside the zone. Once in the zone, he uses a combination of quick hands and IQ to burn through defenders. Given his ability to dig, he often comes out on top in board battles, working quickly to thread the pass or drive the net. He carries a quick and potent release, especially when given the time and space. It's not typical to see a blasted one-timer, but he makes goalies pay with pinpoint wrist shots, from the top of the circles when gifted with time and space. Cootes narrowly fired over a point per game in his draft eligible season, contributing just 63 points over 60 games with the Seattle Thunderbirds, yet skating on a team in the bottom 6 for goals scored. It's an impressive number considering the circumstances. His never quit attitude makes up for his lack of raw physical strength. While he's listed at 183 pounds, he plays more competitively than tough in clutch moments, whether it's a critical defensive shutdown, shift, or late game push for a tying goal. Cootes is the player you want on the ice. Defensively, he is a coach's dream. He led the Thunderbirds with 87 blocked shots and posted a 51% faceoff win rate, over more than 1,000 draws this season. He also averaged nearly 3 minutes per game on the penalty kill, often serving as Seattle's go-to forward in those high-stakes situations. While not a burner, he can change speeds effectively using his slipperiness to gain inside position and drive the net. His skating mechanics could use some refinement, but his hockey IQ and understanding of the game more than compensate for any lack of elite speed. If you've been keeping up with our target list, you may notice a specific theme for this draft cycle, and Cootes fits the mold perfectly. A relentless worker with a high floor and the potential to grow into a difference maker. While his offensive ceiling might not reach the level of his top 6 forward pedigree, the tools are there for him to reach that level with the proper development. At worst, he projects as a dependable middle 6 center who can contribute in all situations, kill penalties, win key faceoffs, and lead by example with his grit and determination. So, once again, that is interesting. Reading this, I like the idea of us drafting Braeden Cootes, much like I said about Carter Bear. Obviously, these are all first round, about like middle first round picks. If they do decide to keep that pick, they're gonna get somebody good in this draft, obviously. But before I give my final thoughts on this, I'm gonna do my sponsor read and thank my sponsor, W Energy. Thank you to my sponsor, W Energy. Are you looking for an energy drink that is jitter-free, crash-free, no sugars, no artificial colors or dyes, and no calories? Then W Energy is just what the doctor ordered. W Energy has over 15 unique and custom different flavors to choose from, including Galaxy Grenade, which is a blend of watermelon, guava, and lime explosion, Beach and Peach, which is a blend of mango white peach cooler. Are you looking to give it a try? Get the starter sampler pack for $24. You get a shaker and 3 different flavors to try. Use code THELINECHANGE and save 10% on that purchase or any purchase you desire. Right now, they have a buy 2 get 1 free sale going on for this entire month. Get it while you can. Use the code B2G1 when you have 3 tubs or more in your cart. Check out their website at www.w.gg. Once again, that is www.w.gg. W Energy, be better, your taste buds' favorite energy drink. So, to close out this video and talking about Braeden Cootes, they mention that defensively, he's a coach's dream. He's eager to block shots, and this guy seems like he's a dynamo on the faceoff draw, which is something that this Canucks team has sorely lacked, especially since both Bill Horvat and JT Miller have left. Right now, their best faceoff guy, I would say, is Aatu Räty, but it would obviously be good to get more centermen who are very effective in the faceoff dot, allow us to win draws and possibly, initiate a scoring chance on said faceoff. But this guy, Braeden Cootes, seems to be someone who's, as was mentioned, reminds people of Max Sasson. Max Sasson, I believe, is going to be big for the Vancouver Canucks once he fully joins the Vancouver Canucks and becomes a regular, everyday Vancouver Canuck. I think he's got a lot of potential. He's got a high ceiling, much like Braeden Cootes does. So, once again, I really like this idea of drafting Braeden Cootes with the 15th overall pick. They did mention that he could be a bit of a stretch for drafting him in that position. Or actually, it said he could be considered a slight reach. But at the end of the day, I do like the idea of drafting a guy like Braeden Cootes. Obviously, I also like the idea of drafting a guy like Carter Bear. I mentioned in that Carter Bear video that I currently right now have my eyes on Cole Reshney. from the Victoria Royals. I'm really high on him. But I want to know from you guys. Let me know in the comment section down below. Out of the two players that we have talked about as potential draft options, who do you guys like the most? Do you guys like Carter Bear, or do you guys like Braeden Cootes? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, if you guys like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Also, if you want to stay up to date on all your Vancouver Canucks content, as well as Abbotsford Canucks content, be sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. That way you don't miss an entire video. You can find us on social media. You can find us on Facebook. Just search The Line Change to find our Facebook page. Find us on Instagram at The Line Change. Find us on Twitter /X at LineChangeVan. You can also find us on TikTok at the.line.change.po. Feel free to give us a follow on all our social media platforms. Speaking of platforms, if you prefer an audio version of this podcast, you can find us on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. On Spotify, feel free to give us a follow, as well as rate and review us. It is, of course, greatly appreciated. But that's going to do it for me in this video. As always, let's go Canucks, believe in blue, and I'll see you guys in the next video.